So we're 6 episodes into this Peripheral series, and my last video only got 2 hate comments, so we're moving on up. Hey, what's up everybody? It is me back with another episode recap review, if you will, of the Peripheral episode 6, and wow. A lot of stuff happened in this one. So as always, I'm going to give you guys my recap and review of the episode. And as always, guys, please be respectful because I know some of y'all are still mad at me from some of the stuff that I talk about. So sit back and relax. And as always, if I miss something, let me know in the comments. And if I misspeak or say a different word than is actually put into the series, let me know, but be nice about it. Well, let's get into episode 6 titled Fuck You and Eat Shit. Kind of like some of the stuff I want to say to some of the commenters. So the episode starts off in the past where we see Burton, Leung, and Connor and the rest of the Marines on the battlefield as they see a dog trapped in barbed wire. The same thing that we saw in episode 5 when Grace showed Alita. Burton and the rest of the Marines say that it's a trap and that they need to take the dog out. Connor doesn't want to do that and doesn't want any harm to come to the dog, so he goes down to try to save it. But as he is doing this, he sees that the dog is indeed a trap and that a bomb has been implanted into the stomach of it. The bomb blows up and then we are hit with the title screen. So a good way to start off this episode with something that we already know what was going to happen, but you just get a little bit of a bigger picture. You know, big explosion. We then cut to the future where we are introduced to who might be the most interesting character in this entire series. Don't worry, Bob, you still have a special place in my heart. And that is Detective Ainsley. Her assistant informs her of Daniel's death and all the shenanigans and weird stuff that's been happening lately involving Lev, Wilf, and Flynn. And I think that this character has the potential to be a very interesting character. You know, always those detective types we get, you know, they always have a lot of charisma, and this character shows that as well. But, you know, later on, we'll get into the episode, you can see that where her ways of deception and a way that she just like commands a room, it's going to be something really fun to watch. We then go to the past and see the aftermath of the car accident involving our favorite character, Tommy, as he is asked to take some time off to rest because in his report he said he was hit by an invisible car, and apparently in this future or in this past the visible cars aren't there yet. So when you talk about invisible cars, people will think you're crazy. As Tommy is cleaning himself in the bathroom, his boss comes in and says that he shouldn't be here and that he needs to go home. But before he leaves, Tommy hears his boss whistle and he looks at his shoes and he sees the same boots that he saw when he first got hit by the invisible car. Pretty much confirming that his boss is the person that hit him and he's probably being paid off by the Research Institute or Corbell, somebody. We'll get more into that details and where I think what is exactly going on, because I am not even sure what's going on, but this is what I'm gathering so far. But it's pretty much like a done deal that his boss is the one that hit him, you know, took Bob and everything. But I know this is a small town, so you know, maybe they're all shopping at the same shoe place and you know, just everybody got the same kind of shoes. We then cut to Flynn and Wilf as they try to get more information on Alita by going to the same people who made her a peripheral, which I think probably should have been the first place you guys went to, but hey, I'll go with it, hoping that they can get more information on what exactly the data that she downloaded into Flynn when she was at the Research Institute. Flynn really gets to show off her skills this time. I mean, she's like telling people, you know, pretty much to fuck off, pretty much. She's like, you know, you kind of suck at your job and I'll just go somewhere else. And then the guy's like, no, I'll do it. This, of course, leads into a big fight scene, and I know I got into a little, like, you know, people were coming for me and saying that I'm nitpicking because I didn't really particularly like the fight scene at the end of the last episode. I just thought it was kind of clunky, you know, it's just a personal opinion. I didn't say I hated the episode. I just thought, that was kind of bad. But this one I think is actually pretty good. I don't know if it was because, you know, Chloë Moretz, the person she was fighting, you know, the person's playing Dr. Newland. She's not really known for her, you know, choreography and fighting styles, maybe that's why it looked kind of clunky. But in this one, it looks like the people that she was interacting with knew a little bit more, had experience with like choreography. So this one looked a little bit more smooth. After the big fight scene, Wilf asks the dude, and this guy's named Reggie apparently, and he asks him, where is Alita? You know, what's going on with this whole situation? And he pretty much says that I can't say anything because the neoprims will get him. And I could be mistaken. You know, I couldn't, maybe you didn't listen. You know, a lot of you tell me that in the comments. I don't listen a lot. But I think this is the first time that we are hearing of the neoprims, and they're kind of talking like they already knew what it was. But like I said, I don't remember them talking about it. So the way that they're talking about the neoprims kind of caught off guard a little bit. Again, let me know in the comments down below if they have actually talked about this before or hinted at it. But apparently Alita is also a neoprim. We just get this revelation in this episode. Flynn consoles Wilf. You know, he doesn't appear to know this information as well. But we then cut to the past and we see Connor coming out of the bar, trying to reconnect himself to his bike. But it seems like it's broken and he tries to fix it, but the poor guy, he only got one arm, you know, so he can't really, you know, do all the stuff that he needs to do. The people in the bar call someone to help and they send McCon, who works with Flynn at the 3D printing place. Connor asks McCon if he could basically put him into a coma so that he can go into the peripheral and just have his life back again, you know, have a full functioning body. He doesn't have to be in constant pain. You know, he's suffering through phantom pains. We see a lot of that in this episode. And this episode is pretty much like a little deeper dive into Connor and his backstory and what he's really feeling throughout his life after combat. And I can see this being a very, you know, sensitive part for some people, you know, some military people that have actually had this happen to them, or they have a friend that they know that is in the same situation as Connor. So to me, I think that aspect of it is a little effective. I wish they went a little bit harder into it, you know, a little bit more talking about the trauma and stuff that he went through. We're still not really sure what exactly happened that day. Yes, we know that Connor was caught in a blast, but why were they there? You know, why was Burton and the rest of the team there? Still a lot of questions to be answered. We cut to Corbell and his wife as we find out where Bob has ended up. Corbell tells Bob that he doesn't want anyone else messing up his town while he's around. And in this scene pretty much confirms to me, or kind of hints at least, that Bob and Corbell, they don't know that they're pretty much working together. You know, Bob is out to kill Flynn and her family, and he wants to do this because he doesn't want his daughter and her family to be harmed. And then we have Corbell over here who's like, he got the same message to take out Flynn and his family, but he chose to just say, I'm just going to keep on getting paid by Flynn. So there's where these two people that are supposed to be working together are actually on the opposites, because one person wants to get paid by the people that the other person needs to kill, you know? It's kind of complicated. And that also makes me think that, you know, the research institutes are really not communicating right. You know, they're not communicating with their two hired guns here, you know, telling them that, hey, you guys are working together. You know, by the way, this is Bob, this is Corbell, you know, here you go. But again, I'll give them a pass because their head boss, their head honcho, Dr. Newland, she got her head snapped by a freaking hit girl. So I'll give them a pass. We then cut to Ash and Ocean as they talk about Dee Dee and her test that she has been running on Flynn after she found out that she had some bacterial infection, and maybe how this is linked to the whole implant that Alita gave to Flynn. And they're just worried about, like, maybe she'll figure out something, maybe she has figured out something, maybe this is a connection. Again, this is just some kind of theory that's going on right now. I was like, hey, maybe the implant isn't in an object. You know, she didn't take the data and put it in an object. She put it into Flynn, you know, hence why they focused on her eye in the first episode. But it's just a theory. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that the data is in Flynn? I mean, it would make more sense that that's the case. And, you know, it would be kind of cliche, you know, very sci-fi cliche that the information's in you. But let me know in the comments down below. I think that's probably where they're going. But again, we got a couple more episodes, so we'll find out, hopefully. But then everything is upended when Detective Ainsley and her assistant make an unexpected visit to Lev's place. But Lev tells everyone to play it cool and do not lie, because apparently these police officers in the future London have a special ability where they can sense that people are lying, and they can know when things are happening before they happen. You know, they can kind of read the room. Kind of sounds like, you know, an officer. Most officers, you know, they kind of go through this training, you know, at least the ones that pay attention. And, you know, a good officer is supposed to be able to read rooms and read people's body language. So I think that's just what it is, but it may be an enhanced version. Maybe they have some psychic powers or some kind of like technological like implants that causes them or makes them able to sense this stuff. I hope they dive a little bit deeper into that because, you know, sci-fi. Back in the past, Bob makes his epic escape by the most Bob way possible. You know, he breaks a fish tank and then he electrocutes Corbell's wife. Don't know if she's dead. And then he wakes up like Terminator or Undertaker. Take your pick. And I'm assuming they don't show it, but I'm assuming he just gets up and walks away all badass style, you know. So that's Bob, you know, what he's doing. He's just trying to get out of here, trying to get out of this place. That scene was pretty funny, you know, the whole fish tank and everything. That was cool. But Bob's free. Back in the future, we get the detective and she starts to do her investigation. You know, she's looking at Lev, she's looking at Wilf, she's looking at Ocean, she's looking at Ash, she's looking at everybody. She starts to do her best Benoit Blanc impersonation. But for you people out there that are really into murder mysteries, you know, you like going to places and doing a real life murder mystery where people, you know, real life people start doing stuff, pretend to die and everything, you have to figure it out. You know, I know some people that like that stuff. You're kind of weird, but hey, if you're into that, then this scene is for you. But the detective really goes into it. You know, she's exposing Lev's plans, talking about his past, talking about Wilf's past, pretty much showing that she knows what she's talking about. She knows everybody's secrets, their past and everything. Then she asks Lev to bring the peripherals that he has in the house as well as their pilots. And this is where we get our first interaction between the detective and Flynn. And, you know, they have a nice handshake and then the episode ends. And that is episode 6 of The Peripheral. Fuck you and eat shit. I love that title. But overall, I think that this episode was pretty decent. There's a lot of action in this one. There's a lot of mystery in this one as well. And I do like that we introduced this new character, the detective and her assistant. She kind of reminds me of a character that would be in Doctor Who, you know, somebody that Doctor Who would be going out and seeking more information to help them, you know, solve a mystery or something like that. We get some more backstory on Connor, which is always nice. More backstory on characters is always fun. I do feel like Flynn kind of took a backseat in this episode. Granted, she was there, but she wasn't really a focus, which is fine, especially when you have a series that has a whole bunch of characters like this one does. Bob is Bob. I love that guy. That guy is great. Any scene that he's in, you know, he steals the show to me. You know, I kind of feel bad for him. You know, he has a lot going for him. He has some stakes, you know. He's trying to save his daughter. He doesn't want his daughter to be attacked. I mean, I don't want him to kill Flynn and the rest of the group, but I mean, you know, at this point, you know, I'm kind of on Bob's side here. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you like this episode? Did you hate this episode? Let me know in the comments down below with all your theories and your thoughts. Do you think that, you know, how do you feel about Connor and his situation and his thoughts and him wanting to just be in the peripheral forever, pretty much be in future London forever? What do you think about this new detective character that we got and her assistant? How do you feel about her? How do you feel about the whole situation that our characters are in this time? Do you think that they're just going to be like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. You know, Flynn and the rest of our group is going to be like, we're taking these peripherals and we're taking names, you know, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Also, don't forget to check out, well, Twitter is dying, so I don't know if I should say check out my Twitter, but as long as it's still alive, check out my Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, guys, keep on watching.